when he was kind of like getting at his first school, he was kind of getting into trouble and stuff. Like I was trying to have like a heart-to-heart with him, and then I was like telling him, I'm like, hey, like, you know, like your dad used to get into a bunch of trouble too, and I actually got kicked out of a bunch of schools. And he looked at me, he's like, you did? Like,
does he even understand that you are also a child too? Is he that age?
He understands now. Right now he's still stuck in the mindset. The tallest person in the room is the oldest.
Welcome back to another episode of Careful Boys. Today I want to ask you guys, what is something that you've said or done in your lives that you kind of hope your kids don't dig up and ask you about?
Oh
shit.
Oh man.
Any of the JK episodes.
Yeah, that's a really good pick.
Like any of them, dude.
It's a good pick.
Just JK in general?
Or just anything where there's video of me talking online. Don't listen to it at all.
It's a lot of videos.
I feel like it
pretty easy to
depends
find.
on what stage. Because if they're like, if they're like past college, I think it'll be hilarious.
Let's say they're in elementary school.
That one's kind of tricky because it's like, how do you explain certain things?
I don't know. What depends what the thing is. Like if
you haven't had the sex talk yet, and then they watch your video and they're like, oh, I saw you talk about railing mommy and putting your foot in the back of her head.
Let's say that
That's like something I said. What about things that you said?
Let's say that your kid who's in 6th grade goes, hey dad, what is this stuff about you eating out a hooker?
That's a good one. Yeah, let's start with Joe.
All right, start with Joe.
And you're on a rocking chair.
Smoking your pipe.
Sometimes in life.
Okay, good start.
You're packing it. You're packing a little pep.
Sometimes, yeah, you gotta fucking Sherlock Holmes. Sometimes in life, you're a charitable human being.
Good choice of words.
That's good.
You're working and your job is service. You're giving and giving and giving. When do you get to receive? And this is where I made the choice to give instead of get.
And the kid stands up and he goes,
My dad is.
He goes like this.
Goes,
God
Dad,
damn
I'm
it."
doing that tomorrow.
And they stamp the metal in the coffin.
You know what? I know. You know what's weird is I don't get squeamish like with family sex talk that much because our family's just like been open about it. My mom would tell me like, all those girls you bring home and they better not be prostitutes, and I'm like, what the fuck? I got so mad. I was like, you think I can't pick up girls on my own? And plus they're like 16 and I'm 16. And it's like, we're high school. Like, what the fuck?
What do you think, I'm 36 already?
Yeah.
When I'm gonna be doing that active?
What do you think of
Because to my mom, like, not being married and having sex is already a hardcore thing, right? Because she's conservative as fuck, so she couldn't even understand that girls out there would just do that.
I just like that she's not wrong. She's just early.
He's so offended. He's like, I'm not gonna be doing that for at least another 15 years.
So what do you think of me? What if
Solid.
let's say you have a kid and your kid is like not as like humor savvy, and he goes, Dad, what's so funny about this like sex in public prank gone sexual?
Oh Jesus! I will disown them then if they don't get that kind of satire. Like where you're dropping a piano of satire on people's heads.
Especially growing up in your household.
Yeah,
if they don't get it.
Me and Nikki, two of the most sarcastic people on the planet, could only probably produce a kid who has none of it. Probably that will happen.
But you know, sometimes kids they just assume. Some kids just equate everything their parents say as like that's not cool, so they just don't adopt it.
True.
What if your kid is like, hey, what's all that shit? You thought Auntie was hot?
I'll say, have you seen her?
Have you seen her, Auntie?
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. Put Auntie on a trampoline and try not to come.
Do you guys have, well, I guess.
They'd just be like,
what are you, 5 now? You're coming, right?
I'm more cringed out with, like, if I had certain belief systems, or if I said something about society in my youth. Because I was a fucking communist in high school, right? And then like I just had different hats throughout life that you fucking believed in, you know? So then like you would spew out all kinds of things. You're just workshopping ideas. They're out there. We've been online for 16 years. Yeah. So I don't think the same. But then there might be a video of me like saying some shit, what I used to believe, but I don't anymore.
Like something you took a really black and white stance on, but now there's so much more nuance because you lived more life, and you're like, I don't really feel that strongly.
Right, I was a 22-year-old fuckhead that thought he knew the world, and then like, I had a strong belief, and I said some stupid shit, and then like, I don't know, like, what if my 14-year-old kid saw that and go, oh, me and there, we think the same. And I'm like, no, I don't fucking think that anymore. It's been some time now, you know? And then they're like, well, you said it back then. And I think that's the thing, right? Like, I don't want that shit to go out, and then they catch it, and I'm like, oh, I don't even remember. But that's hella embarrassing.
Let's put you on video, kid, and then see what you say 15 years after.
Look at how we judge the past right now. Like, even 100 years ago. Dude,
that's true.
Like, good Lord, it's crazy to think about. Like, dude, every one of our ancestors, too, because we're the survivors, they were the rapists, they were the conquerors, they were the fucking warriors who, like, killed the other guys. And the people who didn't make it, like, the ancestors of the people who didn't make it, they're not with us. So it's all the most savage and fucking evil and mean people who reproduced successfully, whether people even wanted to reproduce with them or not. So I just view it as like, dude, we live in the best time that exists. If you want to judge me, looking into our past will be way worse.
Yeah.
I'm a little comfort, a little blanket compared to that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Is there anything outside of JK that you would hope your kid doesn't dig up about you and ask you about? Outside of here?
Probably not. I think
You've been pretty level everywhere else?
Yeah, because a lot of times it's just... Yeah, I think so. I don't think I've really said anything crazy. I think what might make me like, oh my God, is like what Joe was saying about the things that I used to think were like truth, definite truth, and I completely did a 180 on now, you know?
But there's no evidence of that anywhere.
Well, like when you used to say like Christopher Columbus is the shit.
Yeah, I was like, he's the tightest. He's the sickest traveler of all time.
Most dopest human being.
And he was a traveler.
Points.
Yeah.
Best discoverer ever.
And he found America.
Yeah, he sure did.
And he started the trend of naming ships. That's what I said. That was a Christopher
The Nina,
Columbus.
the Pina, the Santa Maria.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I don't think there was anything that but I'm sure I could dig up 2 minutes worth of stuff. Like I'll watch a video for 2 minutes and be like, oh my God. Like
just from today alone, there's probably a really good amount.
Anytime I watch myself in a video, I'm like,
you know what I hope happens? What I hope happens is that we have been so right over the years, especially in JK and shit, that like when parents or when other kids talk to their parents, they see videos of like them saying like, you think Epstein killed himself? And the parents and the kids are like, we all know that's bullshit. Fuck you, mom and dad. That's what I hope happens, but I know it won't.
It won't.
That would be pretty tight.
That'd be sick.
Has Tyga ever asked you anything that you were like, how did you know that?
No, but I think when I do share my past with him, it blows his mind. Because I think he sees dad as dad.
Yeah.
You know, so he just sees me as me, the guy that like sets the rules of the house or whatever. And then when he was kind of like getting at his first school, he was kind of getting into trouble and stuff. Like I was trying to have like a heart-to-heart with him. And I was like telling him, I'm like, hey, like, you know, like your dad used to get into a bunch of trouble too, and I actually got kicked out of a bunch of schools. And he looked at me, he's like, you did? Like, it's just like, what the fuck? Because he sees me as a rule person. I was like,
does he even understand that you are also a child too? Is he that age?
He understands now. Right now he's still stuck in the mindset. The tallest person in the room is the oldest. Because he keeps thinking,
even if they're young,
they keep growing. Yeah, they go like, he's like
trees.
Yeah, because he's like, Papa, when you're a grandpa, you're gonna be like 100 feet tall. I'm like, no. Afterwards, I start getting shorter too. Yeah, but
so basketball players are old. Huh?
Yeah, really old. So yeah, I shared like parts of my past with them, and then like I was telling them about how like in 3rd grade I got kicked out, and then I shared the story of like how I didn't tell him like literally what I wrote, but I wrote something really bad with a crayon on the ground, and I explained why I did, and then so like as I share stories with them, he has these little glimpses, and I can see how powerful it is because it's way different than our parents probably, because our parents kind of come from a place of like, I'm extremely righteous, put me on a pedestal, you can't do whatever, and then as you get older, you're like, wait, you're a faulty human just like I was, and you could have probably related to me and helped me out, and like, but instead you're just scolding me and trying to make me live up to something that you couldn't even live up to.
That's true.
Yeah. So I would say, like, if he did find anything, I'd probably try to use it as a way to like explain some stuff to him.
Well, fortunately, you were never caught. Or there's a mugshot of you with a balaclava on or some shit.
Yeah.
Fucking daddy used to rob some houses.
I didn't share that part yet.
If that ever comes out and he asks you about it, what's your go-to explanation for that?
Oh man, I'd probably have to say, like, you know how sometimes you get like really curious of how something feels like, or you want to do something and you really want something, and then like probably explain that's like how like the worst version of it that you can do.
You ever wanted to peek at the Christmas presents, but they're not your Christmas presents and they're not in your house?
And they're not even wrapped.
That's actually a big
That's a great
fear of mine, is like, because I remember when I was little, all those stories, the intention was to scare or to like tell me a lesson.
Yeah.
But I cherry picked I romanticized a lot of the things that I heard from like my uncle, my dad, like whether it was fights or crazy stories of their friends. And those I glorified. And I was like, oh, I can't wait. Because in my head, I thought like a man needs to go through dangerous situations to be considered you went through life.
Yeah.
So then for me, I just picture myself like my uncle was a pastor and then he would be preaching and doing his thing. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait till I tell my sob stories of how crazy my childhood was up there. So I started seeking out things because I glorified the negative stuff, like fights and whatever. He told me this one story of like, I was playing with illegal fireworks and he tried to tell me like, you know, his buddy had an experiment. He was making like bombs and shit. And then one day he blew off his fucking tips by doing that. Yeah. And in my head, I was like, that must have been wild. That's cool.
I need to blow mine off.
So I wanted have like dangerous situations to like, I would wait till like the fuse was that low and then I start running so I could feel like almost exploding. And then like, so I had like, I don't know.
This is why maybe you shouldn't tell kids stuff.
But I twisted, looking back, I twisted the narratives to make it cool and heroic in my own head. They didn't do anything. They were just trying to teach me a lesson. Right. And I'm like, if I was that fuckhead, then what if they if they saw videos of me talking about the past, or maybe I tell them and try to like mentor them about something, and then they just take out all the glory parts that they turn into glory parts. That's what's scary.
That's something you can't control.
I know, right?
Yeah, that is true though. Like when we had people come to school and talk, and they're like, I used to be a gangster. I did time in jail.
I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking cool.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah. And he's also cool because he doesn't do it anymore, and now he's like reformed. So it's like, wow, you went through the life and you got out.
And he's safe.
Yeah, so he's safe. Yeah, and then you think, I'm like, oh man, I want to be a gangster just so I can not be a gangster.
Yeah, because my dad wasn't a smoker when I was born, right? But he told me the story where he was at the train station. And he was like anxious as fuck, and he just kept smoking. And he went through a couple packs, and then he passed out on the station. And he woke up with like an officer or someone like slapping him awake and then helping him on the chair. And he was like, after that, it was serious. He's like, I have to stop smoking. It's just too much.
He passed out from smoking too much?
I guess like, I don't know, no oxygen, whatever. But he just kept smoking, right? He told me something happened, and he was nervous about it. And all I took from that story is, shit, I can't wait to start smoking so I can say one day I passed out from smoking.
The way that you receive info.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's going to receive the information quite the same.
So then,
Dope is why I'm not going to have a kid, I think.
So I think I started to like see older kids and the cool ones smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, can I try that? And then they would laugh at me. They're like, you want to smoke, little kid? And then like, I'm just there like, I don't even know it hell, right?
Yeah. I could see that, because I think I used to also, like, if I fell off my bike and tore my clothes, I would ask my mom not to fix it because I wanted.
Yeah, because you wanted to be like, this is what happened.
I want someone to ask me like, yo, what happened to your pants?
It's a battle scar, right? Yeah.
I think that's probably maybe it's like the parents' lack of ability. I think because it's super hard to connect. Because like it shows how highly ambitious you were as a kid.
I'm gonna smoke my life away.
Like you wanna achieve this, but you think smoking is the way.
Oh yeah.
But then your ambition is high, so you just needed someone to kind of guide that. Like instead of robbing houses, like maybe learn how to program or something, you know. So I think it's just like
there's so many ways to pass out. You don't have to smoke.
Yeah. Whippets, baby. It's so much cheaper.
And I think that's why parenting's so hard because you gotta like, because you can have two kids and like let's say you have a Joe and another kid, you could tell the same story and one's like. They both have ahas, but they leave the room doing different things.
One is like, aha, good thing you told me, Dad, I'm not gonna smoke. And then the other one's like, I wonder what that's like. You survived.
I think one of the best things about not being a person with regrets is because I feel like I can learn from mistakes that I've made. So like in a way, like to have a regret is almost like, well, I don't really want to grow, I guess, because I feel like I'm always very productive with those things. Like if I don't do something correctly, but then I get corrected and I correct it, I'm thankful that I went through that. You know, so it's tough for me to just go like, I'm gonna have.
There's value in it.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to be productive with it. Otherwise, I think you could build misery with yourself or whatever.
That's
so
true.
Yeah, I think it's really good to have. I think if my kid ever asked me anything, I'd be like, this is great because I can teach you what I've learned about using that momentum to like grow and like improve yourself, really.
So even if you're an OnlyFans model, and then your sons and daughters found out, they're like, Daddy, why'd you finger bang your butthole in front of the whole world?
That's kind of what I was trying to get at, is that like we're now starting to see people have to wrestle with this, where if they make adult content, that it's always going to be a big piece of like, basically as a kid.
You know what though? I think it's actually better that there's so many doing it at once, because they all have to. It's like a phenomenon that's it feels safer in numbers maybe.
But there'll be just more kids in therapy, really. Yeah. But at least they'll have the same shared experience.
So it's a community.
Yeah, instead of like one Jezebel mother. I think that's even worse.
Yeah. Dude,
Jezebel?
It's worse to have less.
Yeah, I think it is because then it's like now it's really taboo, right?
Oh, it's kind of like if you meet a parent from the 70s, they're like, oh, we were all hippies, man.
Exactly. Yeah, like we all did acid. It's like, who didn't do acid?
You can't pull up videos of it.
Right.
That's the difference.
Well, you can see video. One thing is videos, right? But at least there's a bunch of parents who can be like, yeah, well, we have sex openly, like what mommy and daddy do behind closed doors, we do in high definition cameras with lighting for everyone to see. But then there's always someone else that you can judge. It's like, hey, at least I'm not the mule chick. Let's hey, can let's focus over there at the mule chick. Mule chick's here, by the way. That chick got railed by a horse. At least I'm not getting railed by horses.
That's my own husband.
That's what seems like. What seems like the higher demand in this situation is that we talk about the things we've done in life, and we're like, oh, how hard would that be to explain to your kid? Most of it's not that hard. No. But the demand that if you're doing adult content, right, you just have to be that much better of a parent to be able to explain that shit well. And I think that's the part that's hard, because not everybody's good at that. Even without that,
I think most people can't even. Right, they can't even explain it to themselves or other people.
That's already hard without a kid.
Yeah, the more lukewarm you are, the easier it is to explain. It's like, Mom, why'd you become a pharmacist? You know, it's so easy. Versus like if you're like, why did you become a drug dealer, Dad? And you're like, oh shit, how do I make this like a positive thing?
Because a lot of people are being put to the test in different podcasts. Like they asked this one girl what she would do, and her response went viral because she was like, they're gonna go like, well, what are you gonna do when your kid's just crying about it, you know, and he can't escape like the bullying? And she goes, well, he'll be crying. He can cry in a Ferrari.
I saw that.
And that is probably the most out of touch response. Wow. It's like, it's not that your kid is crying at all. Yeah. It's that you think he's
the material
sad
good
and
will do
rich.
something about it. Yeah.
But it's like,
it's a good line though.
It's a great line.
It's a good line.
But it's a.
I've never cried in a Ferrari.
See, couldn't afford it.
Nope.
But it is pretty interesting that it is going to challenge you to like, it's like the price you pay. It's like, if you want to do that, you just have to be a really, really tactful, amazing parent when it's all said and done too.
Well, it also depends too, because we have, what's her name comes in here and she like does feet pics. No, I didn't meet her. Feet pics chick.
Cat?
Cat. Yeah. Haven't seen her met. But yeah, you know, that's pretty easy, right? She's like, some guys are sickos and I monetize that shit. Right?
Yeah.
She like tells
It's
us
way
that.
easier to explain though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she's not doing hardcore. I think it's different, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're out there and you're fucking getting railed in a gangbang in a bukkake show, that's a lot different than like, here's feet.
At least it seems like it's different. The thing is, we're living in the generation that we're gonna find out how different it is,
That's
and I
true.
think that's interesting because we don't know the long-term effects. We don't know if everyone's gonna get out of it okay and be like, you know what, life was fine.
Like the chicks who are in the big dick gangbangs versus the chicks who are in the small dick gangbangs, it's gonna be a lot different.
I'm
Well,
excited
you have
to
so
find
many women coming out saying that they regret it before they're even, you know,
The small
moms,
dick
so.
gangbang or the big dick one?
Definitely the small.
Okay, okay.
Definitely the small.
The small, yeah. Because the big ones look.
At least
better.
there's some, you know,
Yeah.
some fun in that.
Because in the small dick gangbang, like I think the chick's usually reading.
Yeah, she's like yawning all the time. She's like,
I don't think she knows that this is happening.
Yeah. She's like reading like an old book.
Visually, sometimes you can't even see. And you're just like,
yeah.
That's a good face.
That's really good.
that's why you need the big dick gangbangs. Because there's enough.
It's more cinematic.
Yeah. They're
Better.
doing,
And you're like, I can.
they're doing more damage.
Yeah.
It's like an old man with the big letters on his phone, so he could see it better.